Look at how the Bible copied ancient texts. Look at this message that one of you sent me on Instagram yesterday. Normally, I never respond to this kind of message because it feeds the ego. But here, I feel that this person truly needs knowledge, so I'm going to respond. Save this video now, because the truth might disturb you. It is said that Moses came down from the mountain with 10 commandments engraved in stone, given by God himself. But these laws already existed centuries before in ancient Egypt, within the 42 laws of Ma'at. These laws were written about 2600 BC, while the story of Moses and the 10 Commandments only appears in biblical texts around 600 BC. Therefore, the laws of Ma'at are at least 1,000 years older, and 6 of the 10 biblical commandments are exactly in Ma'at. 1. Thou shalt not kill. Ma'at says, I have not killed a human being. 2. Thou shalt not steal. Ma'at says, I have not stolen. 3. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Ma'at says, I have not committed adultery. 4. Thou shalt not bear false witness. Ma'at says, I have not lied. 5. Honor thy father and thy mother. Ma'at says, I have not made my parents suffer. 6. Thou shalt not covet. Ma'at says, I have not desired what belongs to others. And do you know why it is written in the first person? Because in Egyptian wisdom, it is not God who judges you, it is yourself. You declare your truth before your heart in an act of self-evaluation. It is not an imposed law, it is an awakened consciousness. You can already see, with this approach of the ancient Egyptians, that the form of these commandments is a true return to oneself. An honest self-evaluation, not a judgment imposed from the outside. And you realize that among Christians, the person is already invited to judge themselves, to do this inner work. So no, Moses invented nothing. God never spoke to him. In fact, I challenge anyone here to provide me with archaeological or historical proof attesting to the actual existence of a Moses as a historical figure. These laws were there long before the Bible, engraved in temples, transmitted by initiatic Egypt. Now you might ask me, but where did the other 4 commandments go? Why don't we find them in the laws of Ma'at? Here are those 4 commandments found in the Bible, but not in the law of Ma'at. 1. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. 2. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness. 3. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. 4. Remember the Sabbath day, to keep it holy. Look closely at these other 4 commandments that are not found in the laws of Ma'at. They were added for a specific purpose, to cut your connection to your own source of power. If you are afraid of sorcery, know that there is nothing more powerful than these 4 commandments to completely block you. These laws impose a unique external God before whom you must submit and obey. They control how you can imagine God, preventing your inner connection. The Sabbath, for example, forces you to live according to an imposed rhythm, not according to your personal rhythm. These commandments want you to depend on this external power instead of seeking your strength within yourself. They force you to obey rather than take your inner responsibility and spiritual freedom. When it is said that a religious person has the critical sense of an 8-year-old child, it is not an insult. Even in the face of evidence, they cannot think because they are under the influence of an egregore. If I had to show you everything that has been copied and adapted in these books, you would end up throwing them away in a week. But that is not the path of awakening. Keep your books, your faith, your religion, but please learn to read and search for yourself. That is how one achieves self-realization. This is not the goal of spiritual teaching. Spiritual teaching pushes you to take back your power, and for that, you must first find your critical sense. We are only at the beginning of this adventure. Allow me to share this content on Instagram as well by subscribing to my Instagram page. Peace and blessings.